I'm Claire Dooley. You're watching CHGTV, and this is the Geoengineering Report, where we identify the threat in the skies. Historic and devastating wildfires ravaged California earlier this year, followed closely by flash flooding after a long period of no rain. Are these just natural occurrences? Across social media, we hear echoes that these catastrophes were planned.
I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I want to know, where the hell are wildfires coming from? Just look at some of these images. These look like straight out of
We're
the
not
movie.
here for conspiracies, but we are here for the facts, and our expert breaks down this 1-2 punch to Southern California.
Evacuation warnings issued in Southern California as heavy rain brings threats of mudslides in areas scarred by wildfires. First it's the fires, now the flooding. Do you think this is to finish those areas off? Is there another agenda here, smart cities or something like that?
Great question. You're exactly right. We see it consistently again and again and again. First, about the wildfires. That we can hang most completely around the neck of climate intervention operations. We're not guessing. Let's take the California fires, for example. We can see on satellite imagery these operations, climate intervention, aka climate disruption operations, cutting off the precipitation to regions like LA. Before the massive recent fires, LA had basically no rain for almost a year. Is it a coincidence that we found a military document titled Forest Fires as a Military Weapon, 140 pages long, posted at geoengineeringwatch.org, that described exactly that type of process as preparation before incinerating an area? And this is most alarming. There were 17 regions identified as study zones in the continental U.S. LA was one. Why is that in a U.S. military document studying LA as a weapon zone? So the precipitation is cut off, and the source of ignition, separate subject completely. And there's some suspect scenarios on that too. The burns are so uniform, even though we know they've cut off the rain, fuels are dry, there's an incendiary dust coming down through the air column, because these particles are incendiaries. That's no secret. Aluminum is such a powerful incendiary. It's used in military demolitions, and we know that's part of the climate engineering operations. So if you have a year's worth of these materials settling down through the air column, coating everything, flora, structures, everything, that's going to make those fires even more volatile. When surface wind flows can be manipulated, and they can by manipulating atmospheric pressure zones, and you create this blowtorch effect. The source of ignition, again, is a separate subject, but we have lots of film footage and photographs now of structures in these regions. The interiors are fully engulfed in flame, and the fires haven't even reached those structures yet. Is it just a coincidence when we know the military is so effective at controlling precipitation, going all the way back to the 60s, Polly? Project Popeye, historical record.
The United States initiated Operation Popeye covertly. This audacious endeavor aimed to extend the monsoon season by inducing heavier rainfall than normal. Over the course of 5 years, the U.S. Air Force executed over 2,000 clandestine missions during the rainy seasons, deploying silver iodide into clouds to augment precipitation, a method known as cloud seeding. The United States hoped that heightened rainfall would impede North Vietnamese mobility and provide cover for a U.S. military breakthrough. The aims of the operation were to soften road surfaces, making them difficult to traverse, trigger landslides along key roadways, wash out river crossings to hinder movement, and to keep the soil saturated for extended periods, prolonging the logistical nightmare. Through these tactics, Operation Popeye sought to turn the very environment into an obstacle for enemy supply trucks and disrupt the flow of resources along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. A storm of ethical quandaries and unforeseen consequences brewed beneath Operation Popeye's weather manipulation.
There were international treaties passed in the 70s forbidding those type of operations, not that anybody cares about those treaties. So are we to think they can't do it much more effectively now? At minimum, they could have augmented the rain before the fires happened. And climate engineering is even more effective at diminishing and dispersing rain. We know that from the Chinese government stating that don't worry about rain at the Olympics, we'll make sure it doesn't. This is ludicrous. It's absolutely gone to the point where the denial of the American population is mind-boggling. We face a near-term existential threat, and I'll leave it at this. Aside from everything I've described so far, we're breathing what they're spraying. including polymer nanoparticles, which are now showing up based on peer-reviewed study everywhere in the human body, every single organ, from placentas to brains to livers to kidneys, everything. And we're breathing these materials.
I'd love to express our appreciation for you guys sending comments via email to us. We love hearing from you, so please reach out via goodmorning@chd.tv. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on CHD TV.